The smash hit Yu-Gi-Oh franchise has combined its anime tie-ins with the core of the card game for years to create beloved stories, memorable characters, and well-known cards. Across over 20 years of card game evolution and different anime series, different cards have arisen to be utilized by players and characters alike for different roles. From high-end summons to ritual summons and fusions, and not forgetting the spell and trap cards, we thought that we would take a look at the top 10 best Yu-Gi-Oh anime cards used throughout the series in Season 1. But of course, just before we do go into the video, if you do like this type of content and you would like to see some more top 10 videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button and of course, like this video. And with all that said, let's just get straight into it. These are our top 10 best Yu-Gi-Oh cards used throughout the Yu-Gi-Oh anime series. Number 10, Dark Magician. Yugi's signature monster isn't the strongest in the game, but it does make the list just because of the apparent infinite ways Yugi seems to be able to use the card. Not only is the card powerful in its own right, but it's also useful in combination with many other cards in Yugi's deck. The Dark Magician may not be able to fuse with copies of itself, but at least on the show, it's involved in the summoning of several other spellcasters that are just as powerful. Number 9, Multiply. This card is used with Kaiba to create a wall, which is designed to protect Yugi's life points. Yugi uses the card most memorably in his duel against Kaiba in Duelist Kingdom, where he seems as if he's about to lose the duel. Yugi's activation of Multiply effectively traps Kaiba, in that it becomes completely impossible for him to do any damage to Yugi's life points. Even Kaiba's Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon can't break through the wall of Kaiba's that Multiply creates. Number 8, Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is such a powerful card that it's been banned several times in real play. The card is capable of reviving any monster from either player's graveyard. That means that if your opponent destroys your best card, or you manage to destroy theirs, you can return it from the graveyard and use it as your own. Often in the course of a duel, the use of a Monster Reborn can drastically alter who has the advantage, especially if your opponent manages to take out one of your stronger cards. This card was seen used quite a few times in the anime, gaining the duelist using it a huge advantage. Number 7, Blue Eyes White Dragon. Kaiba's most iconic monster, the Blue Eyes White Dragon, is certainly a force to be reckoned with in the show. There are few monsters with more attack than the Blue Eyes White Dragon. The card has 3,000 attack points and 2,500 defense points, but in order to summon it, it does require 2 monsters to be used as tribute. On top of that, the card can also be fused with 2 copies of itself in order to form the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, which comes with 4,500 attack points and 3,800 defense points. Number 6, Mirror Force. This trap card is activated by your opponent's attack. The card not only prevents the attack, but also destroys the monster who made the attack and every other attacking position monster that your opponent controls on their side of the field. This means that if your opponent finds himself at an enormous advantage, Mirror Force can quickly and easily change the course of the gameplay. An advantage can be completely wiped away, and your opponent's life points will be wide open for a direct attack. And of course, within the anime, Yugi was seen wielding this card. Number 5, the Seal of Orichalcos. A supposedly ancient and powerful card, the Seal of Orichalcos is also incredibly practical. It's a field spell card that increases the attack of every monster you control by 500 points. Of course, the card also contains a mystic and evil energy that apparently makes its owner evil, but that's besides the point. The sheer power that this card adds to any deck is undeniable, which is what makes it so tempting for Yami Yugi in his duel against Raphael. Past the practical applications of this card in a game of duel monsters, the Seal of Orichalcos is also capable of taking the losing player's soul in the world of the show. This kind of power is what made the stakes of duels involving the card so high in Yu-Gi-Oh, especially as in general field spell cards aren't often used by the main characters on the original Yu-Gi-Oh anime series. But then again, there aren't as many useful cards as the Seal of Orichalcos. Number 4, Obelisk the Tormentor. Kaiba's God card is probably the weakest of the 3, but that doesn't mean that it's not incredibly powerful in its own right. Obelisk comes equipped with 4,000 attack points and defense points, which is more than any other monster in the game. In addition to that, Obelisk has some extra abilities, including one which gives it unlimited attack power if the owner tributes 2 monsters on the field. This effect can only be activated during your opponent's battle phase, and essentially allows Obelisk's owner to win the duel instantly. Obelisk is also essentially unaffected by the effects of any kinds, and its owner can tribute 2 monsters in order to destroy all monsters on his opponent's side of the field and attack directly. Obelisk was used by Kaiba in the anime series until losing to Yugi in the Battle Cities final and eventually conceiving the card. Number 3. Slier the Sky Dragon. An incredibly powerful god card, Slier the Dragon becomes Yugi's go-to card after he wins it in a duel against strings. Its attack and defense points aren't listed, and that's because Slier gains 1000 attack points and defense points for every card in his owner's hand. This gives Slier a ton of potential and raw attack and defense power, and it also has several abilities that happen to be incredibly practical. Like Obelisk, Slier is also essentially immune to effects, and also becomes the target of all effects and attacks from your opponents automatically. In addition, cards that were summoned by your opponent in attack position lose 2000 attack points, and if their attack goes to 0, they're destroyed. The same goes for monsters that are flip summon, but in this case only with defense points. As a result, Slier makes it almost near impossible for your opponent to summon, and almost guarantees its owner a win. Number 2. The Winged Dragon of Ra. Merrick's god card is undoubtedly the best of the 3, and that's because of the enormous hidden number of abilities that the card carries with it. The card's 3 tribute monsters each contain to Ra's overall stats, so that the combined attack and defense of the 3 tributes becomes Ra's attack and defense. Additionally, you can activate his 1-turn kill effect, which allows you to pay all but one of your life points to increase Ra's attack and defense by that amount. Ra's owner contributes all other monsters in order to give their attack and defense points to Ra. If you activate that effect, Ra can attack each monster that your opponent controls. Along with a series of other effects, the Winged Dragon of Ra is one of the best cards in the game that featured on the anime series, and its many abilities make it near impossible for opponents to destroy it or even defend against it. Number 1. Exodia The Forbidden One. There are plenty of cards that can help you win a game. After all, the point of the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game is to get your opponent's life points down to 0. Exodia the Forbidden One ends the duel instantly if you're able to draw out all the 5 different pieces and put them into your hand. Once you reveal them, then you win the game. Of course, this is often quite challenging in itself, as decks typically contain a minimum of 40 different cards, which makes drawing all 5 different pieces exceedingly difficult. Yugi though only ever pulls this off once, during his first duel against Kaiba. Of course, this is then due to the fact that he then loses his Exodia cards when Weevil Underwood decides to throw his cards overboard. Exodia turns up a couple more times throughout the run of the show, but it is barely summoned, although this is probably for the best. Duels are much more exciting when they don't end instantly. And so there you pretty much have it. Those were our top 10 best Yu-Gi-Oh cards used in the first anime season. So what did you think of this list? With so many different cards to choose from, do you agree with our top 10? Or perhaps that you think that there were some cards not on this list that should have been included? If so, do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. And of course, not forgetting that if you do like this type of content and you would like to see some more top 10 videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button and of course, like this video. I'll also leave some more top 10 videos at the end of this video, including some more Yu-Gi-Oh related content. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you all next time.